Car clamping on private land has been made illegal from today after a campaign spearheaded by trading standards officers in Birmingham. Under the new laws, companies have also been prevented from towing vehicles away.
Well, now those operating private car parks will only be allowed to issue penalty tickets. So, can the new laws actually work, and will they protect innocent motorists from having to pay out hundreds of pounds in fines? Ben Sidwell reports.
These have become an all too familiar sight in car parks across Birmingham. However, from today, changes to the law should mean you'll be a lot less likely to find one on your vehicle. And this is the type of car park that the changes will affect, on private land operated by a private company. Up until now, if you don't stick to their rules, they could clamp you or even tow your vehicle away. But the changes now mean that if they do that, it will be them who are breaking the law. Which is news that's been welcomed by Birmingham Trading Standards. After a 5-year campaign, they've succeeded in getting a number of illegal clampers in the city sent to jail.
I think the publicity that was attracted by the work we did, especially the Crown Court cases, which attracted a lot of publicity and highlighted some of the really rogue practices that were going on. And because many other authorities weren't taking action, it was down to the government to see if they could resolve this in the long term.
One man who knows just what it's like to fall victim of the clampers is Anthony Madonna from Tipton. In July last year, he paid £2.50 for all-day car parking here in the centre of Birmingham. When he returned, his car was gone. Clampers told him it was because his ticket was the wrong way round. The cost for him to get it back, £430.
It's a momentous day, and I think it's a fantastic achievement for the government to actually stand up and ban this. I do worry about the repercussions about ticketing and stuff that's going to become in the backlash from that, but I do think it is a momentous day and it's worth celebrating.
This and many other private car parks in Birmingham are run by a company called Midway Parks. The owner says he welcomes the legislation because it cuts out confrontation. He also said ticketing will be more profitable. But not everyone involved in the industry is convinced.
If you haven't got a deterrent in place, people will continue to park there. I think the most important thing about this is it will benefit the innocent folk who make a mistake when they go into a car park.
Under the new law, the only way private operators can now penalise drivers is by a penalty ticket. But will that work?
Our main concern is that in banning clamping, they haven't dealt necessarily with the cowboy operators, and we fear that they might migrate from clamping into ticketing and simply move the problem into another part of the sector. We would have preferred to see the government legislate to prevent that happening. Police,
councils and organisations such as the DVLA will still be able to clamp vehicles. But with the new law, hopefully now, they'll be the only ones who do. Ben Sidwell, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
I'm joined now by Paul Watters from the AA. Thanks very much for joining us this evening. The Home Office Minister responsible for these changes called it a common sense ban, which will give motorists the protection that they deserve. Do you agree?
It certainly is a common sense ban. The way that clampers have behaved has brought some shocking cases to light of excesses. After all, we're talking about minor parking mistakes which are being exploited by the clampers, or have been until now, for the tune of many hundreds of pounds. And so it's unacceptable in a modern society that we have that kind of highway robbery going on in the name of parking control.
But landowners can still hand out tickets. What's to stop rogue operators giving the tickets too, just migrating, as we heard in that report, to giving out tickets rather than clamping?
Well, obviously this is the first day of the new regime, and we have to see how it pans out. Yes, there is a risk that clampers may turn to ticketing and may use their threatening behaviour in car parks to extort money from people who they may try to persuade to pay for a parking ticket on the spot. We urge people not to pay. Any decent parking control firm will actually allow you to pay if you choose to in the post. So we hope they won't do this, but there's no guarantee. Of course, British Parking Association members who are signed up to an approved code won't behave like that, and there is now an independent appeal service that you can take your case to. But it's the unregulated, both aspects are unregulated. The regulation of private land parking control just isn't there.
So does the legislation go far enough as far as you're concerned?
It certainly doesn't, and in fact the irony is that both the AA, the British Parking Association, even the enforcement companies actually wanted more regulation so they know the ground rules. But at the moment, it's still a civil matter. It's a trespass matter that actually is decided by the courts in cases individually based on whether the driver accepted the contract when they parked.
Mr Waters, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening.
Coming up later in the programme.